Welcome to Women Awakening. I'm Cynthia James, and this network is about changing lives one woman at a time. Welcome to Women Awakening. We're changing lives one woman at a time. And our guest today is our love expert, Arielle Ford. We're always happy when she's here because she's teaching us how to be present in relationship. Welcome, Arielle.
Thank you, Cynthia. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So today, I wanted to talk about the magic of listening. And is it magical?
It's magical if you know how to do it right, because so often many of us are listening, thinking about what we're going to say next. And the brilliant and amazing Harville Hendrix and his wife, Helen LaKelly Hunt, have actually come up with a system for listening. They call it the Imago Dialogue. And it's 5 steps, and I'm sure you know it, but it's just so brilliant. So before I tell you how to listen, I want to tell you a couple things I learned about how to set things up. So if you have to have an important conversation with your beloved, how to set it up to win. So the first thing you want to do is, ask for time. Don't just spring it on somebody. It may be as simple as, this is what I would do. I'd say, honey, I've got a problem that I need your help with. Do you have 10 minutes sometime today just to sit down with me and figure out something? I need your opinion. And he'd probably say, well, tell me now. Like, no, let's just do it. You pick a time, 10 minutes. So we get 10 minutes.
Okay,
and then when we sit down, I would say, I might say, well, here's my problem. So I want to just start by saying, I know how much you love me. You're like the most amazing guy on the planet. I just love how you do A, and then you do B, and then you do C, and give them some specific stuff. But here's something that I'm sort of afraid to even talk to you about that's giving me a little issue. And then state what it is. One thing, not 3 things, just one thing, And then when they start to talk back, so he might, the first thing he might say was, well, this happened because da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And after he's finished talking, then you just want to mirror back to him saying, oh, okay, I think I got it. So what you said is blah, 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 blah. Did I get it right? And he'll say yes or no. And then you could say, is there more? Can you tell me more? And ask for more. And then let's say they give you a little bit more. You can just say to them, oh, okay, that makes sense to me. I can see where blah, blah, blah. Or if it didn't make sense to you, you could say, oh, well, this part makes sense to me, but help me understand more about blank, right? So you're not getting defensive. You're not arguing. You're just letting them know that you can actually hear them, right? And say. And then you might want to add something where you empathize with what they said. You could say, oh, I can imagine you might be feeling blank. Is that how you're feeling about this? And then, once you have that kind of clarity, you just sort of want to finish up and say that, thank you for taking the time to talk with me. You're not actually saying, I totally agree with you, or, this is how it needs to be, but you've just been able to hear what they had to say and have more background and be connected on a heart level. So the listening part's really important because we make up shit about what people say and we misinterpret, and we have, if you're in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have the same native language as you do, then you're in all kinds of deep doo-doo because words have different meanings and different there's different interpretations. So just having this attitude of being present, kind, respectful, deep listening, mirroring back, validating, empathizing, opens the door for a really loving, safe conversation.
Well, what I love about this is, we all want to be heard. We all want to be understood. We all want to feel that somebody is getting what we're sharing, even if it's uncomfortable. And one of the most important things that I was gathering when you were talking is like, it's like if you enter into the conversation in a stance of defense, you can't hear because
Right.
you're thinking and pushing. So what's the biggest lesson you had to learn about listening in your own relationship?
Learning to listen, because I'm not a good listener. And I spend a lot of time in my head thinking and not paying attention. And my husband's a youngest child who spent his whole life in a family full of yackers fighting to be heard. So, one of our earliest, biggest arguments were him always saying to me, "You're not listening to me."
Hmm.
Even though I could parrot back what he had said, I knew I was drifting. I knew I wasn't focused and present, but I was really sort of shocked that he knew it too. So
Right.
it's important I finally came to the understanding that if I don't listen to him, he's going to find somebody who will.
Right.
I still to this day have to sometimes train myself to listen, because even though he's brilliant and magical and fascinating, not everything he wants to talk about is all that interesting to me, but
Right.
it's interesting to him.
Right.
you know
Right.
so it for me, it's a conscious choosing sometimes to put aside whatever it is I'm doing. Or if I'm like, if he comes into my office and he gets real excited about stuff, oh, I got to tell you something, I'll just say to him, okay, give me 5 minutes, I need to complete what I'm doing here so I don't lose my train of thought because I have such bad memory, and I'll come right up.
Right.
So I can be honest about when I can't listen.
Right. Well, it's really interesting because for me, listening was that I had to get to feeling safe because my whole childhood was protecting myself and defending myself. And so if anything felt like a criticism or anything, I was in warrior mode, which didn't help any relationship to get to peace. And so um, I had to learn to listen to myself first and take a time out before I have a conversation. I loved when you said ask for time because
Yeah.
I need that in order to get.
Oh yeah, no, I ask for timeouts all the time because I know when I'm getting triggered that it may not be because of what he said or what he did, and I need to go take a walk or take a bath or do a heart lock in or do something to see, well, what is this really about and how do I want to respond as opposed to reacting. So when I was
Right.
younger, I was in reaction mode. I was defensive, I was angry, I was hurt, I was all of those things all at once, which isn't useful.
No.
I need to like go and see, okay, what's this really about? What did he even mean what he said? And usually what happens is, he'll go take a time out and we'll come back together and we're both kind of like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry, I didn't really mean that, or I was just being uppity, because I tend to get bossy and he tends to get sort of patronizing and get on his high horse about stuff. And we know that about each other. So we actually have code names. When I'm in bossy overbearing mode and I'm not aware of it, he'll laugh at me and he'll go, oh, I see Sheila's here. That's my mother's name. Because my mother can be bossy and I love her and she's great. But when he says Sheila's here, I know what he means. Or if he's on his high horse, I'll go, oh, look, Wayne just arrived. That was his dad, who was a trial attorney. So we have
Right.
this playful way to avoid having World War III.
Well, I love that. And then that opens up the space for you to be listened to and to listen. So I guess I want to say that I think listening is magic. That I think it's not about a wand, but it's really about the magic of opening your heart and being present and loving. So I really want to thank you for bringing this, and I want to let people know how to find you and what do you want to tell them about this time?
Well, let's see. I am easy to find at soulmatesecret.com, and there's a tab called free stuff to look around and get some goodies at. And the other thing is, if you're single and you totally, absolutely want to manifest a soulmate, I have a free 75-minute webinar online. It's at soulmatepassion44.com, soulmatepassion44.com.
Oh, I love that. because I know a lot of you are single, and you're wanting to find that mate. And this morning I was working with a client, and she says, "Well, you know, I kept thinking that I have to get perfect for my soulmate." I said, "No, listen to Arielle Ford. She says we do not have to be perfect to find the soulmate." So whoever you are, if you're looking for someone or if you're in a relationship, I hope you'll listen to these videos because there's lots of wonderful insights and revelations for you. And Arielle, thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful that you are a love expert.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Everybody, please come back often. Look at the videos. We're adding all the time. We want to help you wake up to bring your best self to the planet. Have an incredible day, and we'll see you soon.